Welcome to the Scottish Interior Podcast. I'm Declan, a social media manager with a passion for interiors.
And I'm Michelle, an interior designer with my own company called Interiors 45.
Together, we're here to chat all things Scottish interiors, design trends, styling tips, and the projects that keep us busy. Now, let's get into today's episode. And we're back! Episode 8, Michelle.
This is becoming the catchphrase.
This is the catchphrase, and we're back.
Episode 8.
How have you been?
I've been fabulous. You?
I'm good. Been a busy week.
Always busy.
Always busy, absolutely.
Been on holiday?
I've been away in the sunshine, a wee cheeky 5 days over Easter.
We Easter. Oh, lovely.
No, it was good.
I've been working. That's always what happens between us. I'm the worker and you're the holiday.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to today's episode.
Me too.
Are you?
Yes. Excited?
Oh, so today's episode of the Scottish Interior Podcast, we're joined by the fabulous Jen McCready, the glamorous creator behind the hugely popular Instagram account at PinkPeonyHome. With over 160,000 followers, Jen has built a beautiful online world full of daily, dreamy interiors, clever cleaning hacks, lifestyle inspo, and a whole lot of pink. We're chatting all things home styling, content creation, and how she's turned her passion into a powerful personal brand.
I love that introduction, my goodness.
Jen is on the podcast.
Hello, Declan and Michelle. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're thrilled.
I know,
You're
it's
just
wonderful to have you.
a glamazon that is, Jen.
Oh, thank you very much. I try.
Oh, how have you been?
I've been fabulous. I'm just back from holiday myself.
Love
I
that.
was out in the States, out in sunny
Nice.
California.
It's a family
that.
wedding.
Family wedding, and we thought we'll make a holiday of it. So we did a week with family
Yep.
out in near San Francisco, and then we flew to LA and did Disney, Universal, all the Hollywood sightseeing. So it
What was that villa like?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. Absolutely
looked unreal.
fantastic. It's a different world out there, I'm telling you. I was telling folk there's robots delivering your takeaways. There's cars that drive themselves. Like, you name it, they've got it in LA.
I've actually seen some of these wee robots. Have you seen some of the TikTok videos?
Yeah.
And they get stuck in a bit of the road.
You feel sorry for
and
them.
folk are going over helping them. They're like, oh my God, like, as if it's like a dog that's gets paw stuck.
They actually do have like wee kind of eyes.
Aye.
You feel like it's a wee person
And
and they're on
then
their own.
when they help the robot's on his way, it goes, thank you.
Aww. Well, they'll be coming to Glasgow, sure, I'm soon.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I don't know if the Glasgows will be that polite. They would try to steal the content to the box.
So,
Oh, brilliant.
Jen, take us back to the very beginning.
Gosh, I thought you were going to ask me this. I was trying to think in the way here. What was the beginning?
When did you
Is that
launch the
horrible?
account?
So I honestly think it was maybe about 10 years ago.
Wow.
There was no Instagram stories. There was none of that. It was literally just, you posted a picture on a grid and you put about 5,000 filters on it, like sepia. So you couldn't even see the actual picture itself. And then you posted it.
Yeah, sepia. Lo-fi.
Valencia,
Lo-fi.
that was my favourite. I never used that one.
They give you wee darker edges and all that. It's great.
Yeah, so there was none of the fancy stuff we've got now. I was going to say there's no hashtags, but I suppose there was back then.
But folk used to be hashtag daft back then, didn't
I
they?
think that's kind of how you grew your account.
Yeah.
And I never did it to intentionally have a home account. It just happened very organically. Whereas now I think everyone's trying to do it.
Yeah.
So I think I was quite lucky to gain my following without trying to, because I think that's what's really hard now.
Yeah.
So I remember posting a picture of a lamp, and I never got like really any likes on Instagram. It was all Facebook back then. And I posted this lamp and I put a hashtag next home. And then I remember getting like 40 likes on it. And I went, how did I get so many likes on Instagram? And I thought, it must be that hashtag. So then I started hashtagging next home, Laura Ashley, because that's all my house was, Laura Ashley and next home. And it just kind of grew
Amazing.
from there, very organically.
So would you, to do that though, you must have had a love for home interiors though. Yeah,
Yes,
that was your passion.
loved it. Very different style to what I am now.
Yeah.
It was very much grey. Everything was grey.
We've been
We've
through this
spoken about
conversation,
this.
haven't we?
Silver, yes. But I don't think it was kind of cold in my house because I kind of had like loads of candles, loads of cushions. God, I even had like wall art. I had a wall art, like
Love.
all our names on I loved it. And I had to get the wee credit card out to scrape it on the wall and all that. So I tried to make it cosy, but my God, I look back at the pictures. And I think I got more likes in the pictures then than what I do now. Because it was just so easy to
Some
get
people
likes.
still love it. Some people still love the
Why not?
the grey and the glam and the glitz and the Shiny.
And I always had really lush carpets, dead thick carpets that were dead silvery and shiny, so it always kind of looked dead cosy.
I've said this before, but I love a Hoover line.
Oh, I love a Hoover line. Oh, I
just hits the
to
spot.
this day I still love it.
Yep.
But how do you manage all that when you've got kids and dogs, and like how do you keep it?
I think it's
or
harder
is it
when they're younger.
Instagram reality versus reality?
Definitely. People think my house is always dead tidy, and it's tidy-ish, but not like it is on Instagram. It's easier when your kids get older because you've not got their toys everywhere and things like that. But having a teenager specifically, she goes into the kitchen to make a bit of toast, and she opens every cupboard, every drawer, the fridge. I'm like, why can't you close things behind you? And she'll make a bit of toast, and it's like a bombs went off. So that side of it's hard, as opposed to having things cluttered everywhere. But they kind of tend to stay in their rooms when they get older. So it's harder when they're younger. And my dogs, like people say, how can you keep a cream couch with dogs? But I've got a wee outdoor shower. You'll have seen that. Declan got a wee outdoor shower. Yeah. So after they go their walk, they always get their paws clean before they come in. So I try and keep it as clean as possible, but within reason, because it's a lived-in house with kids and two dogs. I mean,
Jen's unique because every day we've spoke to, everybody's started like creative things during COVID.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was 5 years ago, but you're
old-fashioned.
You're an OG.
Yes.
OG.
Well, I mean, like, it was unheard of then. So did you just think in your head, I'm going to do this? And
I think Instagram was quite a new platform. That was Facebook really, and I don't think there was any Snapchat or WhatsApp from what I remember. And I started just thinking, I'll post whatever I post on Facebook and Instagram as well. So if you went right back, it would be just like the kids on the beach in Blackpool and all that kind of thing. Then I started to put wee pictures of the house here and there, but it was never intentional. It was just to let friends and family see, this is our house that we've been in for 11 years now. It's just a wee hobby, but it was never to like gain followers. But then it started getting quite addictive because I gained followers quite quickly. Yeah,
and you've gained a hell of a lot of followers. What are we at? Over 160k now?
Yes.
Wow, Jen.
So, but it was so easy back then. I could get like 5,000 followers in a day.
Yep.
And now it's like you're lucky if you get one follower a day. It's just so much harder because they hide all your content unless...
What was the moment that you thought, this is taking off?
When I started getting maybe like PR parcels from like B&M's. That's still a pinch me when I get my big B&M hamper coming through. But I remember a company reaching out to me and saying, can I pay you to put something on your page? And I was like, pay me? And I remember them giving me like £50 to put like a wee plaque up in my garden. And I was thinking, who am I? Getting £50 to put a plaque up in my garden fence. And it was like, wow, this could actually become a career. And now it has.
It's just incredible.
And that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. So Pink Peony Home has now become a business really for you.
Yes. And it used to be, if you go right back, it used to be Jen Sean _4. That was my name. Then it was Pink Peony _4. And then I thought, what is that all about? And then I changed it to Home. But I hate that name now because it doesn't represent me. And Jonathan was actually saying, Declan's lovely partner, lovely husband, was saying to me, call it Jen Styles. And I'm like, I love that, Jen Styles. But I think people know me now as that, so I couldn't change it. But the name kind of annoys me. But yeah, now it's like probably interiors is like the least thing that I share, and actually the least thing I get engagement on. I post a recipe or weight loss. That's the one thing people want to know about. Because
you've done magnificent on your weight loss journey.
I lost 3 stone over the past couple of years, so people are really engaged with like what I eat in a day. So actually a lot of my content now is that, and I feel like I've got home stuck in my name, and actually it's a lot about like makeup or cooking, life, my dogs, it's a bit of everything.
It's a bit of lifestyle.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to know what to post. What do we want to see? Do we want to see
funny,
outfits?
Like we've been at a few like kind of influencer events together, and I've sat in like company with Jen, and honestly, like there's people that's come by and went, "Oh my god, are you Pink Peony Home?" Like, and it's so funny.
She's like,
just like, aye, that's me.
My pal says she's never been a night out. I don't know if it's a quite slight exaggeration where somebody's not come up and spotted me. But it always is like dead surreal because I'm just like a normal person. It's quite strange. But I mean, if I saw someone, I'd be all excited as well. But it's still quite surreal when people come up. I remember a teenage girl asking to get her photograph with me when I was doing my shopping in Tesco at the checkout with like a big puffer coat on and like. And I'm like, oh my god, get a picture. And I'm just like, who's she? With a puffer coat, getting a photograph at the checkout.
But see how you were talking about like influencer events, and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Do you think that COVID was the moment for everybody to have their account And it was the biggest moment that people, because you were in the house, you weren't going shopping for inspiration. Now we're all back to normal, doing shopping and stuff. I don't think it's as...
But then I think back to that period as well, and I remember like setting the tripod up and I'm like, right, I'm going to tidy out this cupboard and like tripod. Like, imagine now I would never do it. Like me, like pulling pots and pans out of the cupboard, reorganising it all. Like, and I get like that. Organisation is humongous, especially but like the way that was, it wasn't even edited back then properly. It was shambolic.
I look back at some of the things and I think that editing is shocking, absolutely shocking. But again, thousands of likes. How lucky to get that now. Like, what's that all about?
And it just shows you how naturally more polished you become, and especially now that it's an income and business stream for you.
Absolutely. So I'm like, well, like sometimes like brands have maybe got in touch with me, would you like to do this? And I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like that doesn't like align with my followers. There has been things that I've been like, no, I can't. So you are very much focused on this is a brand, and you don't want other people to look at your page and think, oh, I don't want to work with her because she's doing this or she's doing that. You know, like I had like weight loss injection company saying, oh, could you promote this? I'm like, what, now that I've lost my weight, like on my own, like why would I do that? Doesn't matter what you pay me, like I'm not going to do, I don't need to do that now. You know, so people, I can see how it'd be tempting to
and
be
it's
like,
also
the
stigma that comes
absolutely
from that as well. Because like there's a massive, she's a foodie on TikTok, and it was horrific, the abuse that she got, and you're just thinking, well, if that person's came to terms with them actually going and saying, yeah, I'm going to do something about this, I'm going to actually go for the weight loss surgery, or I think it was definitely surgery, and the amount of abuse that forced them to close their account for a period of time, it's just...
You'll always get that. You got people saying like, oh, she's too big, she needs to lose weight, then you lose weight, oh, she's too skinny, who does she think?
Absolutely.
You can never,
there's no happy
you'll never
medium.
please everyone, you really won't.
I know. But for those who don't understand like how it becomes a business, so what you're saying is that brands ask you to post stuff on your Instagram and they pay you for that. Is that how it works?
Now I've got a manager, and I had a manager before, and I found it really hard like giving over my email and like not knowing what emails were coming in and waiting for like him to say, right, we've had this, I've negotiated that. I quite like doing it myself, but it's got to the point now that I've got a manager that I've been with now for about a year, and she's amazing, and she deals with everything for me, and all I need to do is, you know, like say, yep, I'm happy to work with that company, and she could negotiate like, you know, your worth better than I ever could, you know. So I've got a manager now, and she'll come in with offers and say, would you like to work with this brand? They've expressed interest, and I'll say yes or I'll say no. And she'll tell me what kind of fee like they would like you to post this, and I'll be like yes or no, and that's all I need to do now, and it's great. It really is.
And how much time do you spend then doing do you do your own reels and stuff?
Yes, I do all that myself. She will literally just, the emails will come through to her. I don't have my email now in my bio. They'll go through to her, and then she'll come to me she'll do the negotiation, then come to me, do you want this? And I'll say yes or no. And then I go away and I create the content, but they might say, for example, if it's Mrs. Hinch's new range, they'll say like, this is what we want you to focus on, talk about the notes that's in the product, and for instance, like if you're doing like a washing product, they'll say things like, make sure the pod goes in before the laundry. Like you've got to make sure you do it, and you've got to make sure that you've closed it properly. It's out the reach of kids, like all these things. You know?
You've said to me before, like, well said it, and like there's like strict guidelines within the brief pack. Like, was it 6 seconds you said you had to record before?
I had a job once, and they came to me, and it actually was a laundry product, and they said, we need you to create something engaging, but it's only to be 6 seconds.
How'd you be engaged in 6 seconds?
Oh my god, it was so hard, and it was like bold pod, and it was a cherry blossom scent, and I got Sean to go up a step ladder, and I was like in black and white, like feeling bored, and then he dropped all these cherry blossom petals on me, then it turned into colour, and it was like, like here's how I'm feeling now with these new pods. That was then what these brands do with the money is they boost that, so it goes out to loads of people, and it'll go out to people that wouldn't normally kind of watch your content, so you might get a lot of negative comments, like somebody said, this looks like an apprentice advert. And I thought actually kind of does. Then I look back, and you've got loads of nice comments, but you always have to be prepared if a brand's going to boost, it's going to go out to some creepy guy that might make a comment about you. Got to have a thick skin.
As you say earlier, like the Instagram does choose to what they show and what they don't show and hide and whatever. Like I have put some terrific stuff on my page in Interiors 45, and I'm like, how is 12 people seen this so far? And it's like Sunday night at 6 o'clock, and you're
so disheartening.
how is that? And then you'll see other things, and you think, geez, that's like, how have they got all of this interest in it? But
and have you got a strict schedule? And
I wish I did. I wish I was as motivated as that. I'm quite bad. I kind of go with, unless it's like a brand job that I've got a date I need to post for, and you've got to have approval and all that. But if I'm doing something on my own, it's just if I'm in the mood to do it, you know. And sometimes I'm like, God, I've not posted for like a week, but I'm always in stories. I love my stories. I'll story everything, going out with dogs and make my breakfast, go to the gym. But to actually put something on the grid, I can get quite lazy with that. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it's been a while, I need to post something. And I don't like doing that. I like posting things that are organic, like this is what I'm doing, and I just naturally post, as opposed to thinking,
I don't really go into somebody's grid and look at it. I like their stories.
I'm the same.
Stories that
it's funny that because you could naturally click on like a reel and then be quite engaged in that reel they put up, and then you find yourself like just scrolling through, and it does take a bit to hook you.
Oh yeah, especially with TikTok. Actually, TikTok's my favourite app, and I'm not on TikTok as a creator, but it's my favourite app to scroll. But see if something doesn't capture my attention in like a second. I'm like, but even if I'm quite interested, that's really bad. I'm just addicted to just being like, keep going.
I know.
And how does hubby and the kids deal with your stories?
Well, I don't put the kids on now. I used to, and I thought when they get to a certain age, I'll probably stop that. And again, that happened organically. Sophia's got quite a few friends, or just even girls in her year at school that follow me, and that can be quite uncomfortable for her. She's like, "Oh, Mum, this girl came up today and said, are you PinkPeonyHome's daughter?" And I didn't feel quite comfortable with that. And Sophia doesn't even like being in family photographs now, so I would never dream of putting her. I don't think I've put her on for about a year and a half now. And then Leo was saying, he said the other day, a wee girl said to him, "Is your mum a Shein model?" And I was like, that. I'm not a Shein model, Leo, but I do work for Shein. And I thought, not even Leo's getting that now. So again, I decided that I'm not putting the kids on anymore. So they're not on my page, but they do get quite used to like, "Don't come in, I'm filming. I can't hear you shouting on your headset, Leo, I'm filming, I can't hear you shouting." So they get used to that. Or I'm taking a picture like that, I'm watching a film and you can see Sean's feet in the corner. I'm like, "Get your feet off the buffet." God's sake, he's moving his feet because his toes on the side of the picture.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But
if he moans, I say, well, it's a job.
Absolutely.
Don't be moaning about moving your toes.
But it's like, I know, like when I'm going out with you or whatever, and he's like, "Right, come on," and I'll say, "Let's get a picture," and he's like, "Where are you putting that?" And it's all this kind of stuff. But like when I'm out with Declan, it's different.
Totally different. Yeah, totally Sean hates being on anything. Like he doesn't go on my social media at all either. But we used to years ago, but I think it's just different now. He moved to a stage that it's just a different world, and you realise that you're out there for everyone, and it's exposed. My choice, not Sean's or the kids, you know. So and you feel like you need to protect your kids as well.
And we're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by PinkPeonyHome Furnishings.
With over 90 years of experience, Tyrrell's specialise in all things home furnishings, from flooring and carpets to upholstery, living, bedroom and dining furniture. Their commitment to quality, value and exceptional service has made them a trusted name in the industry.
A huge thank you to Tyrrell's Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland. So Jen, obviously you've came full circle because you were, like, as we said, one of the OG posters for home interior content. And now, like, the majority of stuff is like the makeup tutorials, the lifestyle. Like, what's the kind of content that you think works the most for you now?
I think it changes. I kind of struggle to kind of know where I align because it's a bit of everything. But then I think, well, maybe that's a good thing because, you know, you're going to have different people that are interested in your life. But I think whatever I'm into, so if like I buy a makeup product that I love, I'll be like, "Oh, I can't wait to show you this highlighter." Or if I'm cooking something that I know is really, really, people are going to love, that's easy to follow along with, I'll be like, "I'm going to post this." Or if I've decorated a new bedroom, I can't wait to share that. It really depends like what I'm feeling, but I feel like interiors is almost kind of like the least popular for me now,
because I think I started following you around the time when you got your extension.
Yeah, so that was just before COVID. We were really lucky because I think if we was to get an extension now, the same extension, everything would be double the price for materials, for labour. We were really lucky. I think it was 2019. So that so lucky that we got that done when we did.
Yep, and it's funny because we were like pink peony.
Pink peony.
Pink peony. Or Pink Peony.
You said you called me Pink Peony that day and you sent a wee pink penny. You pink penny.
Pink penny,
I was like, okay, just call me Pink Peony.
And you love it. You love it.
I love my extension. I love interiors, I really do. And I always feel like as soon as I've done a room, I'm like, what could I do next? And I do drive Sean mad. He's like, oh my God, we've done them all now. And I'm like, yeah, but that was a few years ago, so what can we do now?
You keep moving with the trend, but
yes.
Is it your ensuite that you've just done?
Yes, my own
Do you love
suite.
it?
Oh, I love it. It's my
You love your
favourite
bath?
room.
So
I love
dreamy.
my bath, and I'm in a bath every single night. And a lot of my followers are from England, and they'll say, "You must have a really high water bill." I'm like, "We don't have that in Scotland." But they sort of, "Can't believe you have all these baths." I'm like, "We don't do that here."
Jonathan's the same. He has 2 baths a day.
I could have a bath every night. I don't, but I could have a bath every night.
Yeah. Oh, I just love my bath.
Aye. I love it. It's just dead
And then
relaxing, isn't it?
I love watching it, and you're just like, the taps on the bubbles are going. I'm like, here she goes.
Oh, every night, every single night I have a bath. I used to be able to lie for ages and read, but I feel again, is it TikTok? My attention span's shorter now. So I'll just be in a bath for 10, 15 minutes after preparing it all. But I used to lie in the bath for hours when I used to read physical books rather than on my Kindle. So the papers were all like crunchy and soaking wet. I'm like, I need to get out of this bath. I couldn't do that now.
No, I know. I could do that as well. And so who did your bathroom for you? Did you?
So we... do you mean where was the bathroom from?
Yeah, did you work with a specific company or did you just choose different bits from different places?
We worked with a company for the tiles, but for the bathroom itself, no, we weren't working with a company. Some things I was like, I don't like the sink that goes with that, so the sink was from a different company, whereas the bath and the shower were from the same company. What was tricky was trying to match the colour of gold. I was trying to go with an antique gold, and some, when you looked at them together, I was like, oh, they're different. But you know what? I don't care. Who's going to walk in and be like, those golds don't match? But because there was kind of bits from different companies and my mirror was from a different place, there's quite a few different sort of textures and tones. But no, I absolutely love my bathroom.
It all came from your head. There wasn't somebody that came in and said, here's a bathroom design for you. Like, so always was your idea.
I've never actually done that with anything other than my kitchen. The guy that did my kitchen, he's great. He does obviously all the physical work, but his wife does gets a laptop out and goes, right, this is the way you could have it, and do you want this cupboard moved? And I absolutely love that, being able to see, oh my goodness, this is what my extension's going to look like, you know?
People do find that you've obviously got good ideas, and but people who don't, who are struggle with vision, that's like we were talking earlier about ChatGPT, and like I'm now going to people's houses or offices and they're saying to me, right, so before you've come, I've already asked ChatGPT what this room could look like, and I'm like, really? Okay. So, and it's like a mezzanine in a room that's only like 3 feet ceilings or something. You're like, no, this can't happen.
I've never even think of doing that. I feel like I'm behind with, we were just talking about that before we went on, I'm behind with ChatGPT. I think there's a lot that you can do that I could utilise, but I'm just getting into it.
Oh, it is. It has become my best pal recently. But I was watching a TikTok yesterday, and the guy was like an empty shadow, just him walking down the street, and it was like his hands around this empty shadow with like this white glow, and it's like me and ChatGPT recently, and it's like we're now becoming reliant on these things,
totally.
And rather than naturally where we would have went to Google, you're just chucking it into ChatGPT, and it's so much easier, and it's the way it talks to you. It's like, hi Declan, morning, and
remembers you.
Aye, and it remembers like previous conversations. So you've already planted the seed in a previous entry, and then now it's like, oh, I'll just pick up for where I left off on that chat.
There's a problem with that though. One of my friends was telling me that he was interviewing and worked for a position, and he said, I think it was a video call, and he said the prospective interviewee was amazing, like everything he was saying was amazing, but actually he couldn't do the job because everything that he was saying in the interview was off ChatGPT. So he had the perfect answers, and he's like, wow, you're going to be great, but when it came to real life, he wasn't the best.
I think we have to proceed with caution. I think it's good for certain things, but it does take away your creativity. I think there's a element of that. There's also it takes away your thinking. I used to be able to sit and think, right, I'm going to write this letter to this or this email, and now you can just go to ChatGPT. Okay, I want to write a complete letter. I want it to include this, this, and this, and I want this is what I'm looking for. And the next thing it gives you back, I know, like that, and
it's
you just
replacing the brain.
It replaces your brain. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a bit kind of Black Mirror-ish, isn't it?
Very much
Black
so.
Mirror. Yeah. But where's that going to go?
I know.
How much further can you go with that?
Yeah.
10 years' time, what's it going to be like?
Because I used to think my only stumbling block was Pinterest. Because I used to go to people's house and they would be like,
see, I just never got on board with Pinterest.
No, I tried. I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I've seen this in Pinterest, and again, good for inspiration, but actually in reality that's not going to work in your house because of X, Y and Z. So you're up against it right away because somebody's got a preconceived idea of what you had, and then you're going to disappoint them to say you can't have that.
I did obviously get married recently, and I did use it for try to piece a mood board together for my decor event stylist, and that's the only time I did use it. But then I've naturally fell away from it, and just I've got no interest. I actually I've deleted the app because it's just.
The most I'll do is like save a reel on my phone for like someone's bathroom. Like I'll save it and go back, but I would never think to do that. Maybe I should, but I would more just kind of like.
Whereas I'd be more inclined to just screenshot it.
Yeah, or
and save it to favourites. Do you know what I mean? Like that's probably where I would go rather than creating a board on there.
The whole thing, it's mad, isn't it?
Yep. So Jen, I want you to tell your listeners the most unique thing I have ever heard about an individual.
Okay.
And I was telling Michelle.
Do you know what this is, Michelle?
I was telling her off camera, and she was like, "Eh."
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's what 99.9% of people say. And funnily enough, that's what I talked about in the last podcast I was on.
So just to let our listeners on the platforms know, Jen, you can taste names.
I can taste names and a lot of words, not just names. Yeah. The thing is with words is like, a table's a table, but certain words, like if you went, oh, that was great, I can taste the word great. So it's not always names. Wow. So yeah, I can taste things.
So
explain.
Let's go. Michelle with the 1L.
Michelle. So Michelle with 1L. I remember that for that Christmas event. I forgot you're Michelle with 1L.
1L.
So me and my sister have got a condition called synesthesia. Okay. So synesthesia is where two of your senses cross over. Like your senses should never really cross over in your brain, and it's a condition so people can maybe like see colours when they hear music. There's lots of different ways it can kind of manifest. But for me and my sister, we can taste words, and it's literally since as long as I can remember, I've had this. Like me and my sister used to share a room, and we had our 2 wee single beds either side of the room, and we used to just say names of like the boys in our class, and we just thought that was normal. So as long as I can remember, I've had it. And then I think when we got to about 20, my sister said to me, "This got a name, it's called synesthesia."
Oh my God.
And she went quite far with it. Like my sister is an author, so she's got a following on Twitter, and every now and again she'll say, right, I've got half an hour, send me words, and people will like tweet all these names, and she'll text me at half 11 at night, "What's Gordon?" And I'm like, "What, she's on Twitter again?" Like people are requesting names. So she goes and she got invited on, talking about Ruth and Rylan, she got invited on this morning to talk about it.
Wow.
And she said no. She said no. She couldn't be bothered. They weren't paying her. She used to go all the way down to London to talk about it, and she was like, "Oh, I've been talking about it all week and various other places." She's like, "I can't bother going to." Oh. But it was a Friday, so it wasn't Holly and Phil at the time. It was like it was Ruth and Rylan.
It was because they were covering for it.
Aye, but she didn't. So she's much more vocal about it. So yeah, so
amazing.
When I hear, it's nothing to do with the person, what they look like. It's nothing to do with the name, the way the name's spelled. It's how it sounds. And I could have a Michelle that I really don't like, a Michelle that I really like, and they would taste the same. It's purely how the word sounds. So when I hear a name, I can taste whatever that word tastes like very vividly on my tongue, like very, very vividly.
I'm in shock. This is amazing.
It's quite crazy. And there's people I've known for years that I've never told, whereas my sister tells everyone. I get a wee bit embarrassed because people go, "Yeah, right." And I don't like when people don't believe me because I'm like, that really annoys me because it's.
Oh no, we're absolutely
And I say,
invested.
You could test me. Yeah. You could ask me 100 words, and you could bring me in here this time next year and say, and I would say the same thing. It never changes. They don't change.
So we need to ask what Michelle and Declan is like.
Okay. Wonder if you remember, because Declan's asked me before.
Yeah,
Can you remember? Yours is quite a tricky one.
Yeah.
And it's not always a taste. It might be a visual image or a texture, and yours is. So yours is ball bearings.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was.
Like we type. The guy that's like recording this is laughing.
No, yeah, I know this is going to be hilarious. You literally say, "I remember."
Yeah, and they're like clashing together, like Declan.
Yes, that's what you told me that last Christmas. Metal balls.
No wonder you never remembered it, because it's so yours is a dead easy one for you to remember. Skips, the crisps, the ones that melt on the tongue.
Oh.
So yours is really, really pleasant.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what Jonathan's is?
Melt on your tongue.
Nah, I can't remember.
He's a pointy pencil. A pencil that's been really sharpened to the point that it's going to break when you write. Really pointy. He's not blunt. He's a pointy pencil.
Right. What about producer Greg?
Oh well. See, this is a funny thing. Is it because I'm associating him with Greg's? Oh. So Greg is. Do you remember years ago you used to get like big softies? Do you remember big softies?
What, like a flump?
Too young.
What, a flump?
No, it was like a
nougat?
a baguette.
A big roll.
Baguette, but they were like soft.
Right, I'm totally off tangent here.
And they were like basically like Subway now. And it was like they were really flowery. It's the flowery part of the roll is Greg.
And do you think that stems for the name? It's
I think so, but at the same time, why is it not a sausage roll or a steak bake?
Oh, of course.
Why is it the flowery roll?
Or
It's
a
not
yum
filling.
yum.
It's specifically the roll. It's not the inside. So that's Greg.
So you're flowery. I'm melt in your mouth.
I'm metal buzz.
You're metal balls. You're ball bearings. they're like rolling about and hitting each other. It's so bizarre. How can you analyse that? Like, where's a psychologist to tell
hilarious.
me why you're... And it's nothing to do with you. I could meet a random Declan and he'd also be ball bearings.
Oh my God.
Absolutely brilliant. Why do you not do TikTok? Why
I'm lazy, Michelle. I think I'm lazy. I think I'm spread so thin everywhere. I'm just like... I should. I remember speaking to somebody at an event and they were like, post the same thing you put on Instagram and TikTok. And I was like, that's what I'll do. But I think it's just because I've not really got any followers on TikTok. Like, I feel like I'd be starting from scratch. And for what? What am I going to achieve out of it? Like when I'm busy with my Instagram. But I should. I know I should.
And do you still use Facebook in any way?
I do, just to keep in touch with like family. Like, we've got lots of family in Ireland and things. Mainly to just say happy birthday to like a random aunt that I've not seen for 6 months. Sophia tells me Facebook's really old fashioned now. She'll say that's such a Facebook mum thing to do.
Well, I was over in Miami on my honeymoon and I'd met some Americans and I'd asked them, I says, oh, he's on Facebook. She went, Facebook? Like, really? Like, I was flabbergasted I was still using Facebook. And I'm like, oh no, I still love a wee snip.
Why? And you see people's holiday pictures and stuff like that.
I like to go into my memories every day as well and see what
my
pops
memories.
up.
Sophia pops up and I'll go, Sophia, remember you were nice. Look at you there baking cupcakes when you used to let me hug you. I feel like I use all my platforms for different things. Facebook's for that. Insta's, for like looking at beautiful houses. And I feel like TikTok's to make me laugh. Like I watch dogs or, like that thing you shared today with the builders, looking through the people.
I know.
Like
Still
things that make me laugh, so they're very different in my head.
Yeah. So Jen, I want to know, has there been any exciting collaborations that's pretty much felt like a pinch me moment?
Oh God, well, that's a hard question to ask off the top of my head.
A brand that's came to you and you've went, oh my God. Oh, of course.
Well, like I love working with the luxury bed company. I remember the first time they said, we'll give you a bed. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I would really love a Super King, because I knew my bedroom's an attic conversion, but all my bedding was like a double. And I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have to get all new bedding and all that. Forget this bed. But I'm now on my setting bed from them, and they're out of this world. Like what they can make.
Their content is
any
just
bed
amazing.
you can envisage, they make it. And Sophia's got one now, and yeah.
It is mind
blowing. One of those like beds.
Did I not see they were going into doing cinema rooms as well?
Oh my God, I love that. My dream to have a cinema room. I've seen them doing that, and they're out in the States now as well.
Yeah.
So Jen, this brings me to my favourite part of the podcast, and it's a little one-word answer.
Okay.
Quick fire round.
Oh.
I think we need to add a wee jingle into this, don't we?
You should.
So, number one, dream collaboration.
Oh God. I literally can't think. Maybe something with Molly May. I'm obsessed with Molly May.
Yeah.
I absolutely love her. Maybe something to do with that. Never mind Molly May. Skims.
Oh.
Skims. That would be a dream collab.
The shop was incredible in Fifth Avenue when I was there.
I've never been to one.
It's incredible. It was good. It was everything you would ever envisage it to be.
Oh, I can imagine.
Go to paint colour.
So like practically my whole house has got that Impera Italia paint, as you know, that gorgeous like textured metallic paint. Like, absolutely love it. And that's probably my most common question. What wallpaper is that? No one ever knows it's paint. Yeah. What wallpaper is that? I can't really do it myself. I always get someone in to do it for me. I see these people doing it themselves. I'm like, can you do that? So probably,
Tea or coffee?
Oh, tea.
Oh,
tea.
I'm a wee tea Jenny as well.
Mm-hmm. I never drink coffee.
Never drink coffee?
No. I drink tea.
I see it. It's funny because I normally would always have started my day with a tea or a coffee. A coffee. But I'm leaning more towards a tea now. Like
that's what I missed in America. You can't get good
English breakfast.
Oh, that didn't exist. No. And we went somewhere that had tea in the menu. And I went, oh my God, John, they've got tea. And it came and it was like, I think it was Earl Grey or something. That's their tea.
It's a no
like,
from me.
Just have that. And I'm like, what, with milk and sugar?
Interior style in one word.
Glam.
Yeah, because you're a glamazon.
I like the kind of like neutral tones. I'm kind of scared of colour, but it's always got to be like the paint would always have to be shimmery. Yeah. You know?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And a nice fun one. What is your most used emoji?
The laughing one with the tears. I use that all the time.
I'd have to agree because it's that, but mine's is the laughing one that's like,
Aye.
Roll on the floor laughing
it's
one.
like that one.
And I also like the one that's got the wee tears, the wee black eyes with the tears.
Oh, that
If
is,
something makes me emotional.
that's incredible. Like how, because it comes up, you're frequently used. Mine's is always the.
Do you want to hear a fun fact on emojis that my son told me the other day? See the wee robber emoji? He doesn't exist. Look in your phone, doesn't exist. That's never existed.
Everybody's now checking their phone.
That's a Mandela effect. Like there's no robber emoji. And I told my friend this in the taxi the other day and she went, of course there is. And she went, where is it? Where is it?
Oh my God.
No. There you go. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. Do you know what that is? Yeah. There's an episode in Black Mirror about that. So that's apparently one of them that never existed.
Like a fever dream.
Yes. Something that everybody believes, but yet it's not true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So have a look and see if you can find
Oh
the
my
robber
God,
emoji.
I've just, that's blown
I can
my
even
mind.
picture it with the...
Aye.
And if you Google it, it will come up because it will say this is what people think was an emoji, but
So it's never been there?
no,
Oh, it's
There you
never.
go.
Right, okay.
it's never existed.
Um,
Apparently, maybe somebody will prove me wrong, but it's not in my phone.
So you said earlier about you don't know that you get as much likes or interest in home accounts or your home stuff now. If somebody was now starting a home account, what would your advice be to them?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you've got to be really consistent. Like, I think at this point, and we only post once a week, but I think you kind of need to do it at least every day or every other day. I still use hashtags. I still think people do use hashtags. And I think you've got to engage with people. So if somebody says like, oh my God, I love those flowers, say thank you so much for your comment, engage with people back because, and then they, if they comment, you're going to come up in their feed. So, because you'll see, you think, why is that coming up in my feed? And then you'll realise a friend of yours has commented. So I think engaging really helps as well. But I think it's really, really hard because it's so saturated now. And people are trying to make it a job, whereas that was never the intention with me. Although I'm very grateful for it.
It's helpful is that you're on camera quite a lot, and I think that is definitely now a thing, isn't it? Where just doing still pictures, whatever. It just
people want to
work.
see the face behind the account, and
Totally.
I think.
So Jen, I could talk to you all day long, but before we say goodbye,
We're done already. I was enjoying that.
I know,
40 minutes.
I like to talk.
I know.
We like to
Felt
talk.
like 5, didn't it?
Before we go, what's next for Pink Peony Home? Any exciting
And your
plans you could share?
The one thing, and I've told you this many times, Declan, the one thing I would love to do is make because I've got a party house. My house is where everybody comes to socialise. I would love to make my garage into a bar. I know exactly how it would look. But where do I put all the crap that's in my garage?
I know.
What do I do with all that? Because we've converted the attic, so you can't even see in my garage. If I showed you, you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe that. But all my garden stuff, like the kids' old toys, it's such a task to empty it all. But one day I want to make that a bar, and it will be the most McCready's bar. It'll be amazing.
Oh, I can't wait
It'll
for
be so
the
good.
annual Christmas party.
Oh, and it's going to have a pool table that can also be a dining table.
Yes to that.
For the same one online.
Multifunction.
Yes.
But I mean, just clear out.
I
Once you've
know.
cleared out,
What about Vinted? Are you all over Vinted?
Not really.
I go through wee phases.
Go through wee phases. If there's like maybe like something like for clothes wise, only for clothes.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can get like a great like Club London dress that somebody's only wore once. I absolutely do that. But to sell things, I've got no patience.
No, and it's
I've
the
got no patience
it's
for
the
that.
taking the parcels too.
Oh, and do you know my worst thing is returning things. See if I've got something that doesn't fit me,
No.
I'll just put it in a drawer. I'm
for
terrible.
that.
I'm absolutely terrible.
I've not really. I think I've bought about 2 things for Vinted. But I actually got an absolute barg. I love a Le Creuset mug.
Oh,
I
lovely.
love Le Creuset. And I got a mug on there, sticker still on the bottom of it and everything, and it was like
And you worry it's going to get cracked in transit though, don't you?
£6.
That's
The thing that
great.
gives me the ick about that is you've only got one mug that's.
Yeah, but
There's
it's my
nothing-
mug and it's my tea mug.
There's nothing that matches that mug.
Tea tastes better out of a certain mug.
But it's like there is only one. I bought the one, and nobody uses it. It's mine. Maybe it's good for a digestive biscuit as well.
That's my favourite just now. That is my favourite. Just a plain digestive biscuit.
and there's
Just-
nothing
they're
worse
just
when it
fat ones.
doesn't go right
Oh, I
in.
love
Anyway.
it. Or if I'm being very fancy, put a wee bit of jam in a digestive biscuit.
Oh.
Or even butter.
I would have butter before jam.
I love a digestive biscuit.
Butter and
And
jam.
they're so dry as well. I seen
know.
somebody in America tasting British foods and they gave them a digestive and they were like, so dry. I'm like, it's dead dry, but it's something
But
that's
it's-
comforting.
it's so
Makes you
dry.
want to down your tea. Aye.
Oh, Jen, we've had a blast.
We have.
Thank
Thanks so much
you
for having
so much.
me.
And you can follow Jen's journey on
Yes,
social
please
media. On Instagram, it's at PinkPeonyHome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
That's a wrap.